My little girl's name is Kaislyn Dezekiah Keel. She was born on April the 24th at 12:52 p.m. and she was gorgeous, of course. It's so crazy. You wait all that time and then when it actually happens, it's just like, oh my gosh, I know I've been thinking about this moment for 9 months and I know I'm ready, but oh my gosh, am I really ready, And then seeing her face, it was all over. It was great. When I took the pregnancy test at home, my first reaction was disbelief, shock. This can't be happening. Not me, not me. My mom brought me to the Pregnancy Resource Center. She was trying to change my mind on aborting the baby. That was my first thought. Being so young, I was like, there's no way I'm not even taking care of myself. There's no way I can be responsible for somebody else's life. I didn't really have any thoughts, as far as the actual center itself. I just knew that my mind was already made up and nobody was going to be able to change it. My mom ended up bringing me in to talk to somebody, not only to talk to somebody about the situation, but hopefully to get a sono and actually see the actual situation and not just make a choice, not realizing what I'm gonna give up if I don't go through with it. When I first walked back to the clinic to have a sono and to see my baby for the first time, I just remember my heart pounding, I was terrified. At the same time, we're trying to see, how far along I was, and it was just, I can't explain it. That's something you can't explain. And actually seeing it for the first time and seeing her heartbeat, I knew at that point, I knew that there was no way I could terminate her, you know what I mean? And at that point, I didn't know if it was a girl or boy, but I was just like, oh my gosh, look at it, you could just see the heartbeat just, going so fast. And it was life-changing. It really was. After I saw the baby on the screen, at that point you couldn't tell it was a baby, but you could see the heartbeat. Once I saw the heartbeat, I knew I wasn't gonna make it. I was terrified because if I was gonna go through with it, I was gonna have to change everything that I was doing. At that point in time, I was not working. I was a typical teenager, out all the time, every night, I wasn't even a bit worried about me at that point in time, I wasn't me at that point in time. Walking into the Pregnancy Resource Center, my mind was already made up, or so I thought, until after talking to somebody. I actually had a date to have an abortion the following day. I remember going to sleep, waking up the next morning. I actually had the appointment set for 8 o'clock in the morning, and I remember waking up at that time because my alarm went off, and I just rolled back over and told myself, don't you dare get out of this bed. Just stay there. And I did all day, actually, crying, because I knew I couldn't go through with it. To be real about the situation and actually open up and tell people about how, about the things that I was doing and about my life was probably the hardest thing. It was the hardest thing I ever did. I never let anybody into my life, people that know me. There was only a select few, and it's because I wasn't happy with what I was doing and who I was and what was going on around me. So to let somebody in to my world it was hard. It was really hard. If it had not been for the Pregnancy Resource Center, I can almost guarantee you that I wouldn't be a changed person. My daughter wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have found me again. I wouldn't have a job. I wouldn't be taking care of my responsibilities. I wouldn't be seeing life as it should be seen. I found me again because of the PR Center.